Hello Commanders, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. So since I started this series, I've had a bunch of requests from different people for me to show a bit more information on the in-game controls and to talk about Flight Assist. So that's what we'll be covering today. Before we do that though, I wanted to say a quick thanks to those of you who've supported me with what I'm doing so far. A bunch of people have sent really positive messages over on the forums, on YouTube, left messages in the comments. A bunch of people have added me in game. A bunch of people have joined the group I've set up as well. If you'd like to do that, you can just click on here, add friends. You type in my name here, which is Blocks, and you hit search, and it'll throw up a result here, and then you can just go ahead and add me, and then you can request to join the group as well. It's messages like these and the friendship requests that really make it worthwhile putting these videos together. A lot of hard work and planning goes into each of these videos that I produce, and that's so I can try and present information in the best possible way. And if it's something that you appreciate and enjoy, you can actually help me out a little bit by clicking on a few buttons. So if you've got something out of any of the videos, or you get something out of this video, please go ahead, hit the thumbs up button to like it, and please consider subscribing to my channel as well. It makes a huge difference to me. If I know there's an audience out there that is enjoying videos and finding them useful, then I'll keep creating new episodes and we can have some fun with the in-game content together. I'll also put a link in the video description to the forum thread I've created over on the Frontier forums. So if YouTube isn't your thing, you can select the thread tools over there if you're subscribed to those ones. You can subscribe to that thread, so you'll see when I post new episodes over there as well. And you can rate the thread as well and give or take away reputation points by clicking on the scale at the top of the first post. Let me know if you think it's good and worthwhile. So while we wait for the game to load in here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the control system I'm using so far, and we'll pull up the menu system while I do that. So if we go into options here and check out the controls, and I'll scroll through these, you can see there are a huge number of controls you can use here. It's incredibly customizable, this game. At the basic level, it's really easy. You saw what I did with flying around in the first episodes. We talked about pitch and roll and yaw, and I'm boosting in and out, adjusting the throttle and stuff like that. And that's kind of the setup I have right now. So I've used what is close to a classic keyboard layout, but I've customized it a bit. So I have yaw set up, so this is kind of rudder left and right on A and D. That's above my roll keys, which are just beneath it. So I have kind of roll left and roll right, so we've got backslash here is next to the Z key on my keyboard. I've got pitch up and down on the right hand side of the keyboard, so using forward slash and then the quotation mark here. For lateral and vertical thrust, I have the arrow keys, and then for throttle, increasing throttle, I have space, and my thumb on my left hand is kind of holding that, and I decrease throttle with the ring finger on my left hand as well. I've also got a couple of presets that I'm using, again not very many right now, but things I'm finding particularly useful. So if I want to do sort of finer adjustments when I'm flying or coming into a station, I have left control set up to set the speed to 25%. If I'm looking for maximum maneuverability, I hit the speed to 50% and I hit X. And if I want it all stop, then I press C, which is just the right of X, X obviously. A couple of other things to mention. The flight landing overrides, you can set these up for different configurations as well. I have them exactly the same right now. And I also have boost set up to B, and then the frame shift drive set up to J, which is kind of historically what the old hyperdrive, I think it was called in the original Elite, or hyperspace. That's there. I've got targeting on T, so it's nice and easy for me to sort of zip my index finger over on the left hand and go, yeah, what's the target in front of me? and then I've got fire groups on the right hand, so sort of up and to the right of the pitch up and down. I've got primary fire, and then over one enter with the sort of pinky finger, ring finger being on primary fire, and then deploy hard points are on new, but I'm having hard points deploy automatically when I press the fire button. And then silent running is set to R. If I had a heatsink installed and I wanted to deploy one, I'd hit H. And then a couple of other things here. We've got kind of ship lights on and off if we need them. I've set diverting power to engines, weapons and systems to EW and S here, just because it's nice and easy for me to remember. It's just above my roll left and right and in between the kind of yaw buttons. It is a bit compact around there, and like I said, it's not optimal. It is fiddly at times, but it's working for me right now. And then balanced power distribution on backspace. One other key that I've come a cropper for, which I really should point out, which is a really nasty one. You may have had this problem yourself. The jettison all cargo. I was actually in a station the other day where I was sort of thrusting vertically off the pad, and my vertical thrust key set to up arrow is right near the delete key, and I hit delete and I jettisoned all of my cargo that I'd just bought into the station, and then had to kind of fly around trying to find the cargo. That was pretty hilarious at the time, and I really wish I had it on video, but unfortunately I wasn't recording then. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. I'm going to go and launch now. We'll talk a little bit more about the control system when we get outside, and I'll also show you what Flight Assist does and talk about that as a feature. So I'll see you on the other side of the docking port, commanders.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
So here we are outside the station. So let's talk about Flight Assist and what it is. You might have seen as I came out of the station there, I tried to demonstrate a little bit of what a roll to the right would look like with Flight Assist on and off. So Flight Assist on, which is the default, helps to stabilise your ship's movements, and it acts as a damper on your flight controls. So it makes things easier to fly, and you don't have to correct for any previous inputs you've made while you're flying. Your ship is only going to move in the direction you're telling it to, providing that you're giving it direction or inputs to the control system. So if I press pitch up here and flip the ship around, and then take my finger off, you can see that the ship corrects that and dampens the movement. If I now do the same thing with Flight Assist off, pitching up again, and then letting go, you can see that we continue rolling. So Flight Assist off isn't going to correct the movement. It's going to continue moving your ship at the same speed in whichever direction you set off, and that will apply through every axis, so it won't stabilise your movement, and you will need to correct for the previous inputs. Let's have another demo of that with a roll. So we have Flight Assist on right now. We'll roll to the left for 1, 2, 3 seconds and then let go, and then the ship straightens us up for natural straight flight again. And if we turn Flight Assist off and do the same thing, 1, 2, 3 and then off, you can see we continue rolling. If we apply some lateral left thrust, we'll start moving in a different direction. We can apply some vertical thrust as well, and suddenly we're all over the place. We'll turn Flight Assist on again. If we do the same kind of movements with Flight Assist on, so I roll left, a bit of lateral and vertical thrust, hold the keys down and then let them go, the ship straightens up. And it'll be much easier for you when you're starting out to fly with Flight Assist on. But for the finer detail controls and some of the cooler movements you can do in game, definitely going to want to be able to fly with Flight Assist off in the long term or in certain situations. So I hope that's been a useful explanation to you and a demonstration of the controls I'm using right now and Flight Assist. If it has, please go ahead and like the video, share it with your friends. Fly safe, commanders, and I will see you next time.